Last week, a one-line change to toggle task went out. Nobody touched the tests, because there weren't any. 3 days later, a user reports that checking off a task sometimes unchecks a completely different task instead. Nobody on the team noticed, not in development, not in review, not in the 5 minutes after deploy. It shipped, sat there quietly wrong, and only surfaced because someone happened to be annoyed enough to report it. That's not a story about one careless commit. It's what happens by default in an app with 0 tests. The only thing standing between working code and broken code is somebody manually clicking through the UI and remembering every edge case, every single time, forever. Nobody does that consistently. Nobody can. That's what this series fixes, starting today. Not by rewriting Taskmaster. Every line of code from Series 4 stays exactly as it is. We're adding a safety net underneath it. Vitest for fast, isolated tests that run in milliseconds, wired into this exact project, proving in seconds what used to take minutes of manual clicking to half-verify. By the end of this video, Taskmaster has a real working test suite, small, but running, green, and ready for everything the next 7 videos add on top of it. Let's get into it. Why this layer matters. Manual testing doesn't scale. Right now, verifying that Create Project still works means opening the browser, signing in, filling out a form, and watching what happens. Verifying that a permission check still blocks a viewer means doing that again, signed in as a different role. Multiply that by every server action, every role, every edge case Series 4 built, and multiply it again by every future change that might silently break one of them. That's not a process. It's a hope. What a test actually buys you. A test is a small program that runs your code and checks the result against what you expect. Automatically, in milliseconds, every single time you run it. It doesn't get tired, distracted, or forget the edge case from 3 sprints ago. Run it once, and it keeps proving the same thing forever, for free. Installing and configuring Vitest. Step 1. Install the packages. npm install -d vitest @vitejs plugin react Vitest config paths. Vitest is the test runner itself. @vitejs plugin react lets it understand JSX, TSX the same way your app does. Vitest config paths makes your existing @address import aliases, the ones already used across Taskmaster, work inside test files without extra configuration. Step 2. The config file. Vitest.config.ts import define config from Vitest config. Import react from @vitejs plugin react. Import ts config paths from Vitest config paths. Export default define config. Plugins ts config paths react test. Environment node globals true. Environment node is deliberate here. Server actions and permission helpers run on the server, not in a browser, so tests for them don't need a simulated DOM. Globals true means describe, it, and expect are available in every test file without importing them one by one. Note, videos 17 to 19 add a second separate playwright config for browser-based tests. The 2 runners don't share configuration. Vitest never opens a browser, and that's exactly what makes it fast enough to run on every keystroke. Step 3. The first real test. libpermissions.ts already exports a rank object from video 10, a plain ordering of viewer, editor, owner. It's simple, has no dependencies, and is the perfect first thing to prove the pipeline actually works before testing anything more complex. libpermissions.test.ts. Import describe, it, expect from Vitest. Import rank from @permissions. Describe rank. It orders roles from least to most privileged. Expect rank.viewer to be less than rank.editor. Expect rank.editor to be less than rank.owner. Step 4. Running it. npx vitest run. lib/permissions test.test 1. Rank orders roles from least to most privileged. Test files 1 passed. Duration 312 milliseconds. 1 test, 1 green checkmark, in 1/3 of a second. That's the whole loop this series builds on. Write a test, run it, see it fail or pass. Trust the answer more than you trust another round of manual clicking. The daily workflow. Watch mode, npx vitest. Without run, Vitest stays open and reruns automatically every time a file changes. The mode you'll actually leave running in a terminal tab while writing code across the rest of this series. Coverage. npx vitest run-coverage. Coverage reports which lines of your actual code never got executed by any test. A rough but genuinely useful map of what's still unverified. It's not a target to chase to 100%. It's a way to notice an entire function nobody's written a test for yet. Note, test files live next to the code they test. Permissions.test and permissions.test in the same folder. Vitest finds *test.test anywhere in the project automatically. Nothing needs to be registered by hand. Recap and call to action. Taskmaster has a real test runner now, configured for the exact aliases and server-only code this app already uses. One passing test proving the whole pipeline works end-to-end. And a watch mode workflow, ready for everything the rest of this series adds on top of it. In video 14, we put it to work on the code that actually matters. Unit testing create project itself, the happy path, the missing session case, and the empty input case. All mocked and running in milliseconds.